A Salina woman is facing charges of stealing a package from the home where SUZANNE Morphew was last seen alive. SUZANNE's husband, Barry Morphew, is charged with murder in her death. Court documents show shortly after she disappeared, Barry got into a relationship with Shoshona Darke.
This was CBS Colorado's reporting from the 29th of September 2021, almost 4 years ago.
This week, the people who now live in the Morphew's former home say they saw Darke as she came up the long driveway and took a package from the front door of the home. She's now charged with criminal trespassing. Police aren't saying what was in the package she took or who the package was for.
Meanwhile, Shoshona Darke, Barry Morphew's girlfriend for the past 4 years, has just broken her silence. Who is Shoshona Darke? Well, she actually makes an appearance in the epilogue in the final pages of the 131-page affidavit.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science. Well, breaking news. Incredibly, Darke appears in the affidavit immediately following the section dealing with BAM and tranquilizers. You may also remember a tranquilizer dart cap was photographed outside the dryer as part of the evidence. Many discounted it. The defense certainly did, but it seemed a very odd thing to be anywhere near the dryer, a tranquilizer dart cap. It also showed someone was doing laundry in the middle of a crime, a murder. A murder was committed, possibly inside that house. Now let's have a look at what Shoshona Darke, Barry's ex, revealed in her exclusive interview. But before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you're finding this analysis worthwhile, please do hit the thanks button. You can also wait till the end of the episode to look at a playlist on this case. It's more than 100 episodes to refresh your memory on this case. Finding this analysis worthwhile, please hit the thanks button and let's get started. Obviously, this is my worst fear coming true, that he could be responsible. That is what Shoshona Darke told the Daily Mail in an exclusive interview, tears running down her cheeks as she was saying this. Darke, 55 and now living in Durango, Colorado, says she's conflicted about Morphew, 57, whom she met 5 months after SUZANNE disappeared and stuck by for 4 years. You may remember in the beginning, Barry maintained that he still loved SUZANNE, but within just a few months he was already with another woman. Rumors also swirled that he was having an affair with a woman who was supposed to be working for him at the time and who he was supposed to meet at the Holiday Inn on Mother's Day. Remember her, Morgan Gentile. You remember this from October 2020. On the one hand, he is such a kind, generous, loving person, but on the other hand, I've had my own experience with him when it hasn't always been that way. That's what she said to the Daily Mail. But she hesitated to describe the dynamics that caused her to move away and their relationship to fizzle in 2024. When asked if Morphew treated her badly, she said, "Not physically, but there are other ways to treat someone not very well." It's likely, I think, that Shoshona will be called as a witness in Barry Morphew's murder trial. If that happens, she will likely be cross-examined on the record on the true dynamics of her relationship with him, and that might provide some insight on the man SUZANNE had to deal with. It was destructive, she added to Daily Mail. He seemed to be a very broken man. Those are pretty ominous terms, wouldn't you say? And certainly that description is a far cry from the smiling, beaming, happy Barry we saw heading to and from court, with his equally happy, smiling children flanking him at each arm. It's also interesting that at the time, October 2020, Barry denied he was even in a relationship with Shoshona Darke. She met Barry Morphew through a friend of the couple whose property she managed in October 2020, 5 months after his wife's disappearance. It's actually quite startling that there's this property management aspect going on, which kind of has to do with their finances. He seemed to miss her, she recalled. He seemed like he was grieving. Well, maybe something else was going on as well. Having been through 2 divorces and endured what she called the trauma of working as an Army National Guard medic in Kuwait during Operation Desert Storm, Darke said her empathy led her to get pulled into a relationship with Morphew and the drama around him. They lived together in a rental house, I think in Poncha Springs, not far from the $1.62 million home he shared with Suzanne on Puma Path. Darke also admitted being Barry's girlfriend wasn't always easy. People accused Darke of breaking up the Morphews' marriage, helping kill Suzanne, and generally being a slut. That's according to the Daily Mail. The bullying was constant, really ugly, horrible stuff, she says. I was living a pretty happy life until then, and then it blew up when she began dating Morphew. Still, she stuck it out with him for 4 years. According to the Daily Mail, Darke said she told herself that evidence against Morphew was merely circumstantial and that authorities would drop the investigation after his first murder charge was dismissed. I wouldn't be surprised if he told her the same thing. Oh, everything against me is merely circumstantial. Well, circumstantial evidence can be compelling. You can win a case on circumstantial evidence. She also said that Morphew never wanted to discuss it when she asked him about his wife's disappearance. He just wanted to heal and move forward, I'm sure. In hindsight, she realizes she didn't push those conversations. Do you see, once again, a failure to think critically in a very serious situation? In a situation like this, where someone is accused of murder, you could literally be putting your life on the line if you don't think critically, if you don't deal with the subtext to the situation. Darke also believes Barry's daughters have believed wholeheartedly in their father's innocence, at least until now. According to the Daily Mail, it's unclear whether his daughters, both now in their 20s, still believe in his innocence after new evidence has come to light and he was arrested Friday in Arizona. She described Morphew as a great dad. They've probably never had a negative experience with him. Wow, so a dad being accused of their own mother's murder and him being on trial for murder doesn't count as a negative experience. He has always been there, always listening and wanting the best for them, she said, then paused, starting to cry again. Well, I'm not sure if he's going to always be there for them going forward. He's being held on $3 million cash-only bail and is said to be extradited to Colorado's San Luis Valley. I think they still completely do think he's innocent, Darke said. But what about Darke? What does she believe? This is what she says. I guess there was some cognitive dissonance on my part. It's something you can't even comprehend, that somebody you thought was a good person could even be capable of doing, something like that. Well, I'm not sure it's about cognitive anything. There's a 131-page affidavit out there. All you need to do is Google it and download it. And there is a woman who was found dead in a field with a special cocktail in her bones. What's so hard to comprehend about that? And it does seem like Darke remained in a relationship with Barry for as long as a year after Suzanne's bones were actually found. I mean, should you date someone who is in the news suspected of murdering his wife? Should you live with him when he has inherited money as a result of someone's death? Darke moved to Durango when their relationship grew strained, and she said she last saw Morphew in Arizona in 2024. He was struggling then, for sure, she said. Well, the struggle is going to get pretty real from here on out, isn't it? I'm not going to take it further than that. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.